FIFA as we know it is done. The concept of the game of FIFA that we have all grown up enjoying over the last decade or so is pretty much over. And I don't mean it just in the sense of the name. Obviously it's called FC24. We should have been a sign of all that we should have expected what happened this year. I'm sure a lot of us still call it FIFA, but honestly this game that has come out and everything that's going to be following it from here on out is far from the games that we played in the past. You could honestly say that FIFA as a whole, the series was on its last legs from 21, 22, and 23. Those games were still able to give us at least something. They've all been declining in quality, but this one here just took an absolute nosedive when we're talking about what we've been expecting and what to look forward to in the future. And of course, we're going to be talking specifically about EA's favorite moneymaker, Ultimate Team. Career mode aside, pro clubs aside, we all know EA does not care about those game modes. The fact that they barely even took the time to improve them and essentially what is a brand new series just says a ton about the direction that we should have known this game was going in. And there's one specific reason why I really do think the game, the franchise, what we know as FIFA is over, and I'll get into that in just 1 second. But real quick, I do just want to bring up some of the issues that EAFC 24 has kind of brought to the forefront throughout this entire year. And of course, if you're just getting into the series, right, let's say you only just started playing FIFA last year, or maybe this is even your first EAFC football game as a whole, you're probably in for a wild ride from here on out. Let me just tell you that. And real quick, boys, if you're new to the channel and enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're doing weekly video essays, weekly FC24 content, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. And if you're not new to the channel, boys, welcome back. Glad to have you around for another video. But with that being said, there's a couple things that we should have just, like I said, seen from the beginning with EAFC24 and just known that by the point that we are at now, the game would have just been over. And all these things culminated in what my opinion is honestly just the final nail in the coffin for what we identify as FIFA and what's now EAFC24. So first of all, when the game first launched, it was a pretty buggy game to begin with. You could say arguably the gameplay was a little bit better at the beginning before they patched it as they always do, but right, that's all subjective. But objectively, a lot of things weren't working. Pro clubs wasn't working. There was a bug that allowed people to pause the game before a penalty got taken, meaning let's say it's 0-0, your opponent gave you a penalty, they could pause the game and leave before you got the chance to score. And what was the most annoying one at the beginning of the year at least was the fact that you could not save the settings for your game. If you enjoyed using a specific camera, maybe specific settings between competitive or whatever it might be, maybe you like manual shooting, whatever, you could not save them. You would play with those settings one day, log off, come back the next day, and those settings were gone. And also generally, right, a lot of crashing, a lot of game freezing. Essentially, it really felt like they dropped an unfinished game, and throughout the whole year it has continued to feel that way. As the game has gone on, of course, right, even though it's a brand new game, hyper motion, whatever it might be, blah blah blah, the gameplay has been terrible. 71 depth glitch was a problem for pretty much the entire year, where you set your squad to 71 depth and your team just presses like crazy, meaning most of the time every single person that you were coming up against was freaking rocking the 71 depth crazy meta tactic. These games are essentially unplayable if you didn't use it. Terrible experience. And then of course in this game, EA dropped the brand new feature, which was evolutions, which everyone loved. Everyone for years had been wanting EA to drop something where you can choose essentially what player you want to make as best as possible in your club, some club legend, right? And then they didn't even get that right. You were only able to upgrade that player one time, meaning you had to discard them, meaning the community had to find a way around it, which they did right through the player in progress. And then EA essentially patched that. So thanks EA for pretty much taking away one of the funnest aspects and making it to where we only can do what we can based off how you guys decide we can do it. And of course, how could we not forget the team of the year Messi debacle? And what was a normal team of the year where we're all trying to grind our hardest to pack the best possible cards in the game, right, the team of the years. And of course, since you're not Castro or Bateson or nowadays Danny Aarons, you're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and pack these cards, right? You're doing it the old-fashioned way. You're doing your SBCs, you're doing your freaking player picks to hopefully get the chance to pack somebody. And of course, what do EA Sports do? They release an SBC with essentially the worst odds imaginable, and it's a 86 plus from the leagues of players that are in the team of the year, meaning essentially what felt like half of the community opened up this player pick and got team of the year Messi. What did EA Sports do? They disabled the SBC. Why? Because they didn't want you to get team of the year Messi, because then you're not going to spend money. You get what I'm saying? And of course, EA followed this up with a tweet that said only 0.7% of the player base got the card. That isn't the biggest load of I don't know what is, okay? So as you can see, right, all these little things have just been adding up and adding up, and add to that the fact that progressively throughout the year, EA are making packs more and more expensive, to the point where now you can pretty much get a guaranteed team of the season card for $50. This is something here here that Nick Run the Phone Market ranted about recently as well. And I think what just happened recently for me has created an avalanche that I think just this game will not be able to really recover from in the long run, at least in my perspective. And of course, you guys can always let me know what you think in the comments down below. But in case you missed it, FC24 for the month of May is free with PlayStation Plus, meaning the game that you paid anywhere between 70 and 100 US dollars for a couple months ago is now at the bare minimum at least $10. If you wanted to pick up the game for just a month, try it out, do as much as you can, it's 10 US dollars. PlayStation Plus is needed anyways, right? So most of you guys watching this are probably already have PlayStation Plus, are getting it, are on and off of it. So to you, the game is gonna feel like it's free. For me, I have the renewing PlayStation Plus every year, so the games that come out every month are free. At least it feels that way. And now, for the month of May 2024, EAFC 24 is free. The last time this happened was with FIFA 22, and my biggest grievance with the fact that this game is free is that for the remaining time of this year, right, that means rest of team of the season, for footies, the Euro content, for the Copa America content, whatever it might be, from now till then, EA is going to be shoving these $50, $60, $70 packs in your face, and they know most people are going to buy them. Numbers for EAFC 24 are down. Regardless of what you think, they are down. Less people bought them, less people are playing, a lot of people are off the game already. I only really play for Garnacho or Glory at this point, but they know they're going to make up for those losses with the fact that they're charging you these crazy prices for these packs. When you can get a game for $10, there's no reason why you should be trying to shove these microtransactions of $50, $60 in your players' faces for them to play a game that really just feels unfinished. There's so many glitches, there's so many bugs in this game. I didn't even talk about the Trickster Plus playstyle glitch that came out at the beginning of the year, where you could literally just run with the player's ball attached to the freaking leg. This game is not good, it's unfinished, and now you can get it for essentially $10. Hop on the game, only to get presented with the option to spend essentially what the game costs anyways. This is probably what we can expect from them going forward. They're just gonna keep giving an inferior product, charging crazy high prices, and then expecting you to pay even more money to them once you have the game. It doesn't make any sense to me. Am I still going to be playing the game? Yes, because at this point, FIFA as the game that we know, I still enjoy playing it. It's the only football simulator that I like. I've tried a couple of other ones. This is what I like. Am I going to be spending money on it though? No. Will I still be making content? Yes, as long as you guys are still enjoying it, but definitely not spending any more money on it than I have. The games that we know in the past where you were playing, there are people who are play to win, of course, but you know, majority of the players are grinding SBCs or grinding division rivals, trying to get the team better and better slowly as you go. Those times are done. We've seen that throughout this year where promos essentially don't mean anything because they're full of just bad players and then 2, 3, or 4 really good ones where they expect you to open packs in the hopes that you can get one of them. Essentially, right, FIFA is done. It's over. Whatever you had in your mind as a pretense for what to expect going into all these games, it's no longer the same thing. We're now in the world where this is just a different product completely, but they're slapping you with all this kind of nostalgia of FIFA to make you think that it's the same game or gonna be the same type of experience, but it's not. From here on out, we're still gonna be calling it FIFA, but it is by far EAFC forever.